And welcome back to the All Sports Show, live from the Premier Hotel, and of course streaming live at theherald.com, or of course on B Live's stream, which you can get at live stream. So check us out, of course, on Twitter and Facebook. Tomorrow night, there's a really, really special occasion here at Newcastle Basketball Stadium. We've got the Louisiana State University coming here to take on an All-Stars Newcastle side. And in that LSU team is one Ben Simmons, who is touted to be one of the top picks in the NBA next year. We're very, very lucky to have two gentlemen who played a very influential part in young Ben's career. Mr. Basketball himself, Butch Hayes, and father of Ben Simmons, now father of Ben Simmons, used to be Dave Simmons. You're now your father of Ben Simmons. Welcome, gentlemen, to the All Sports Show. Gentlemen, it's a really, really great night here for Newcastle basketball tomorrow night, isn't it? Like, the fact that LSU are coming here is fantastic, but to have Ben as part of that side is even more special, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a great night. You know, Ben's been away for a while, and this is where he started his basketball, so lots of great memories here. And he's really looking forward to bringing his team here and his coaches and, you know, showing them a good time in Newcastle and hopefully coming away with a win as well.
We'll talk a little bit. We'll talk about tomorrow night first, of course, and but then we'll get on to your careers here in Newcastle and maybe some of the things that you did off the court, if you want to go there or not, I'm not sure. But LSU, it's a great university. Like, Keeble's a die-hard basketball fan. Obviously, I spent 4.5 years over there. It's fantastic. But the LSU as a university, it's for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about them and what they're about in college basketball.
It's a great university, Louisiana State University. They're probably more known for their football at the moment, but in saying that, their golf team just won the national championship as well. Their women's softball team was in the World Series. Their men's team is ranked number one. The men's baseball team is ranked number one as well, and hopefully their basketball team has a lot of hype around it. Now hopefully they can deliver as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Why are they so successful? Is it they just got a good scholarship program in there, or a good college system? How do colleges become good? It's a very competitive market.
Yeah, great culture and great recruiting. So in terms of their football, obviously you're going to hire the very best coach you can. And then by attracting a great coach, you want to, attract some great recruits. And basically that's how it works. And not to mention they probably have unlimited budget.
Pretty handy, isn't it? Yeah.
They want, so that helps.
Well, they're able to travel to Australia.
Exactly.
That's not bad, is it? Butch, what about you, mate? You obviously you've known young Ben as a kid. You saw watch him growing up. How does it feel watching him become a successful basketball? It must be really special.
Well, I was just telling Dave last night, I just flipped on the YouTube, and Ben has so many mixtapes and sites, and just the things that he's doing now are just incredible. But we laugh and we think about all the Christmases at my house, and he's shooting baskets, and we're all out there, or the nights when Dave and I were professionals.
Yep.
Luckily had a key to the gym, and we'd go in at 10.
We didn't really have a key, Butch. we told the kids we had a key.
Yeah.
We used to get in.
Yeah. And Ben, while Dave and I are working out, trying to improve our game as professionals, there's been at 3, 4, 5 years of age, watching us shooting, and look at him now. Jeez.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Dave, when I mean, obviously there's something in the DNA and genetics and what you've surrounded Ben with, but when did you feel that Ben was going to be more than just a kid who liked to play basketball to the point where he is now on the verge of a college season and maybe a 1 year and out in an NBA career?
Hard to say early, always talented and loved the game, but nothing super special. But I think as he took himself over to America to sort of try to prove himself, and he was able to meet every challenge, and then physically to be able to grow. He's 6'10", and he still has the skills of the guard, and he just has that mindset. And maybe going over to the States gave him that edge, and made him just a bit hungrier.
And it's one thing to have the skill set, as you say, but to have that desire, I mean, and also to remain level-headed. I mean, he gets to hang out with all the different camps he's got to do. He's worked out with guys like Harden and Kyrie Irving and LeBron James, and that could blow some kids' minds. But he seems to be really grounded, and I guess that comes down to you and Julia's parents that have had that role in his life.
Yeah, and his brothers and sisters and friends, and Ben's been around the game for a long time, so he's seen a lot and he's experienced a lot. And I think just going over to the States was another level up, but he was able to sort of deal with it and handle it. I mean, there were times when Ben would do something and the crowd may have gone crazy and Ben seems really calm and he'd get in the car with me and go, "Did you see that?" And that was cool because I was thinking he was too cool. But you know, he gets excited but keeps it inside and keeps it sort of, you know, under control.
So 6'10".
Yeah, 6'10", man.
So what's that, a guard?
It actually is for him.
A forward or a centre, but he's a point forward. So
Yeah, right.
he loves it. He'll get the ball and he'll start fast breaks. So.
Yeah, right. Oh, good
Well,
stuff.
when we talk about his desire, I can remember when he was 5 or 6, and Dave and I were playing in an adult. We worked for a charity, and we had a basketball team, which was kind of the charity's promotional arm. And little Ben grabbing us, I want to play. I'm going to play with you guys. And we let him play when he was, it must have been 6. And he was playing against adult men.
Yeah, right.
And he's competing. And
But not thinking he was a 6-year-old kid, thinking I belong out here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Louis Young who really got him going. Said, "Oh, get him a uniform." He's playing, and we're sitting there like, "You gotta be kidding."
But that, what you said then, Dave, that sense of I belong out here, that's where he is now. I mean, I know he's thinking now he belongs in the NBA, but he's got to take each step. He's dominated high school basketball, and now he's on the verge of a college career that'll probably only last one season.
Yeah, absolutely. He really feels and has that self-belief without being arrogant
Yep.
or cocky. You know, it's like, well, I've worked hard and I deserve this and I'm number one. So, I take my hat off to him. He really has put in the work, and this is just basically the reward for the work he's put in.
How crazy is it going to be for you tomorrow when he walks in his purple and gold uniform with the team, and it's going to be the biggest crowd they've had at Broadmeadow in I can't even remember how long ago. They're talking about a sellout capacity, 2,000, pretty much all to see one kid, and it's a kid who you used to take in there when you were playing for the Falcons and coaching the Pirates that kind of grew up there.
I mean, look, that's all great, but that seems like a whole lot of pressure. Not for me, fortunately, because I don't have to step out there. But look, he's coming with his team, and you'll see there's some very talented kids on that team as well. But I think Ben's looking forward to this because this is also the first time I've seen him with his team. So I've seen him train, but this is the first time I've seen LSU as a unit. So I'm pretty excited for it as well, and I think they'll put on a pretty good show for the crowd.
Like when you look back, both of you gentlemen have spent a lot of time at that stadium when you played for the Falcons, of course. There is a surreal angle to this where you're going to walk in tomorrow night and stand there and there's going to be a lot of old faces that you know and people that you haven't seen in a long time, and you're going to be talking to lots of different people and probably forgetting who they were and their names, but they'll remember who you were. And then they're all going to run out and they're going to cheer on young Ben and his team, and they're going to cheer on a lot of the Newcastle guys and even a couple of Maitland guys with Mitch Ruder and that there as well, which is fantastic. There's going to be a surreal edge to it, isn't there? Like it's just a very, very small example. I grew up at Medowie, a little suburb out in the middle of nowhere, and my son plays underage soccer, and I was there for the first time in about 25 years, and he ran onto the park, and I was going, this is bizarre, where has my life gone? That's going to happen tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Because it has gone quick, hasn't it?
The exciting thing and the common thing about all of this is, when you talk about pressure, I went over earlier this year when Ben graduated to his graduation, and I don't think people in Australia or Newcastle realize how the level that Ben is on now and the pressure and all. But the Simmons family, this is the most I've seen Dave smile. I mean, he's just they're going to keep him grounded. They're going to keep him calm. Tomorrow's not pressure. Tomorrow's
fun.
Tomorrow's another game of basketball. Yeah. But it is surreal to see him now and remember him as a baby, really.
My biggest concern, Butch, and you know as well as I do, those rings have been there for a long time. If he starts dunking I'm not sure they're going to hold up, to be brutally honest. Let me ask you that.
Before you go, just quickly, for the non-basketball people who might just know a couple of names, the biggest name that's come out of LSU in basketball terms, probably that people would be aware of is Shaquille O'Neal. Maybe 24, 25 years ago, he had a college career. As Dave said, it's mainly a football school, but they're talking about the hype that Ben and I guess these other kids, Antonio Blakeney and Brandon Sampson, they've recruited this crop of freshmen to bolster a pretty strong squad. That's the sort of hype that it's creating, the biggest hype that LSU have had since the days of Shaquille O'Neal.
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gentlemen, let's talk a bit about you two. You played for the Falcons, had a couple of great seasons here at the Falcons, enjoyed it. But let's go before that. Where did you two meet? Can you remember?
Was it a brothel? No, I'm only kidding.
We after 7?
No.
Yeah. No, not yet.
We met here in Newcastle.
Yeah.
So after I finished with the Tigers, I came up to Newcastle, and Sean Dennis was the coach at the time, and Butch Hayes was one of the imports. And I was sort of towards the end of my career, but had another opportunity with Newcastle. And had the pleasure of playing with Butch Hayes. I'd come from the Melbourne Tigers with Andrew Gaze, a guy I used to pass the ball to him and watch him shoot.
Yeah.
And I got here and I had the ball in my hand, and Butch used to look at me and say, "Shoot the ball," and I'm like, "What? Okay." So I loved that about Butch at first. He was like, "Shoot the ball, man," and I loved that, and that was just, to me, it was a great sort of new beginning for me again. Sort of resurrected my career. But Butch and I became very good friends from then on.
Well, it goes without saying that.
How do you shoot with those guns?
Look at it.
They're like the size of my legs.
I know.
I
He's
think
big.
21?
I'd love to see Dave and Ben go one-on-one.
Messed up my golf game, but anyway.
What about off the court, guys? You guys, your friendship on the court, and you were teammates, but you started working together off the court. Can you tell us some of the things you guys have done off the court?
We've worked
some great things in the
for
community.
several charities over the years, but at Current, I started a charity 4 years ago working with disadvantaged and disabled kids, adults, called SNAP programs. This is a great plug. Thanks.
Yeah, no, get it into it. Snap. We love it.
Special needs accommodation placements. We're a Newcastle-based charity.
Always looking for more support.
Always looking for more support.
Snap.com.au. What's the
.com's fine.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Go to Snap.
And we actually started a branch in Victoria that Dave was running and managing before all of this happened. So we're not there now, but we're New South Wales based. We do accommodation for adults, special needs kids.
I don't think they meant
kids.
that much.
No. We love hearing it. No. That's what it's all about.
I'm passionate, but Dave and I, for years, there were charities before that where we worked together, and Dave, with his size and presence, is just a great guy with kids. He has like this Pied Piper approach. Wherever he goes, they follow, and that's the thing about, we use sport as a vehicle too, because once you get the kids' attention, as you know, then you've got to give them something.
Absolutely.
But
and we were able to have basketball teams along with the work as well. We had some charity games and things we organized. Went over to Singapore, did we?
Yes.
Won a championship.
There's a good plug.
Yeah.
The only Australian team that has won the Jones Cup, which is this great international basketball cup in Taiwan. We played against Russia. I think we beat Canada in the finals.
Fantastic.
2002 worth of Google.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Butch, you're still playing. You were here at Broadmeadow a month ago playing. You were playing for Maitland a month ago. I saw you. What about you, Dave? Are you still hooping?
Still play a little when I can. And I referee a bit as well. Yeah, so I thought I needed the referees needed a bit of help to sort of balance things up. So
and you relocated, didn't you? The family relocated to Orlando.
Yeah,
You're sort of in between.
Orlando, but we're back in Australia at the moment. But we'll probably head over to LSU come October, November.
Nice. Can I ask you, gentlemen, the NBL as it stands, we all love it. We all grew up with it, particularly Newcastle, the Falcons. And then we had the small little era of the Pirates. And Coobs and I know we follow basketball. He more, and I spent a lot of times there. Where do you think it is at the moment? Obviously, they just rebranded. They've got a new logo out now, which looks like it came straight out of the 70s, by the way. Where is it at the moment in your view?
You first, mate. Well, let's talk about the grassroots. The grassroots is still flourishing. It's still growing, but we obviously definitely we need more professional teams. We need more teams for those local players, those Aussie players to aspire to. But saying that, at the moment, it's great that, like I know Keith's son is going overseas.
Yep.
I think it's great that kids get any type of experience wherever they can, whether it's in America or it's in Lithuania or wherever. But getting to the question that you're asking about professional basketball in Australia, I haven't got the answer.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
But we need it.
Yep, agree.
I've got the answer.
You got the answer. Here it is.
I think it's a simple formula. And, not that simple in terms of making it happen, but I remember playing with the Tigers for Lindsay Gaze. It's all about entertainment. It's anything we do. When people want to pay money, when you want people to pay money, you need to give them something for their money. It's not about you can win a game and win it in an ugly, boring way. They're not going to come back next week.
Yeah.
But if you're entertaining people, there's dunks and there's hard screens and things like that, which is what Lindsey Gage used to preach. He didn't mind if you did a 360 dunk and missed it because he wanted the entertainment factor.
But how do you change that with the coaches, though? Because they're the ones that
start bringing in better players, better imports.
Okay.
Stop getting the guy you're paying, whatever you're paying him, sitting him on the end of the bench.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're going to get an import, get one that's going to make an impact. Back in the day, every import made an impact. Nowadays, they just fill in a roster.
Yeah.
So.
It's look, I spent a lot of years in football and I spent a lot of years in basketball, and I see so much similarities where the grassroots participation is strong.
Yep.
Our national teams are good, high-profile teams, and if you look at the national Australian team now for basketball, they've got a great side, and it's that middle area that's always struggled. The A-League 10 years ago, 11 years ago, sort of tried to fill that gap, and the NBL had it for quite a while, and then sort of the competitive market of sport in Australia sort of probably killed that off a little bit. But it is that middle ground because we have to accept what we are, and we are essentially a breeding ground, but we're going to lose a lot of our best players away, and we just have to accept that. It's what we do over here in the meantime, and I really hope the NBL get themselves sorted, and because we all love it. He's an old Illawarra Hawks fan and loves going to the
I've got a foot in two camps now. My junior time was there, and my son's Newcastle junior, so it's you sort of torn between both. But I got friends and contacts in every state, every club, and you just want to see the NBL strong again. It just seems to be. It just can't seem to make that step in, because back in the early 90s, mid-90s, it was like they'd selling out the Sydney Entertainment Centre. It was on free-to-air. There was games every weekend. They seemed to have the right formula, and then I don't know what happened. It just seemed to plateau.
Other things happened around it, but I think that they're now starting to look at the game, and as you said, the entertainment factor and what it is, and Damien Cotter's a good friend of ours as well, and I know he's doing a great job at the Kings, and they're starting to win back a lot of fans. So good luck to the Kings as well. So
and it is. Let's not. I mean, while it's a massive night for Newcastle basketball tomorrow night at Broadmeadow with LSU here, for Australian basketball, is Rod Laver Arena sold out for the Boomers New Zealand? It's all but sold out.
It's close to.
It's a two-game Oceania Championship Series, Australia versus the Tall Blacks. And New Zealand used to be, I guess, a bit of a pushover, but they're pretty tough, aren't they?
Very, they're developing, and they've done a great job with the national program. So, I mean, Australia will not take them lightly, because you wouldn't be surprised if it's a very close game, or even if they come over the top. So it's always going to be a tough challenge.
And it was exciting during the week, of course, having Katie Ray Ebsary announced in that squad as well from Newcastle, joining Susie Bakovic. Yep. Both of them have been on here. Katie co-hosted with us a little while back. So we say hello to Katie. I saw her at Westfield on Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday morning she got announced to the squad. It was like, you beauty.
Oh, that's great.
So it's fantastic. So we wish them all the best. But tomorrow night, can I just quickly run through some details and I'll go back to you? Louisiana State University take on the Newcastle All-Stars at 7:30 tomorrow night at Newcastle Basketball Stadium. The stadium will actually have a celebrity match beforehand. I'm not sure what that all means. Are you in it?
No,
I think you might get a call up. You never know.
I think the last I heard, they couldn't quite get that together. They're now having an under-12s game as a sort of as a tribute to the Ben played for the Hunters under-12s team, and they're playing Hills Hornets at 5:15.
I'm only picking what's on their website.
Yeah, I think they couldn't quite get that.
While the bar and the canteen also open a barbecue, of course, and if you can get a chicken wrap there, they're still the best in town. There's no doubt about it. I'm not sure when doors open. I'm not even sure if there's any tickets left. There might.
Well,
there might.
I believe that it's all going through the Tour Down Under website. That it's a separate promoter. I wouldn't be walking in half an hour before the game starts. Go to
newcastlebasketball.com.au and there's links there for everything.
Butch, I just want to take you back to 1984. You're a skinny young kid out of Cal Berkeley. You're drafted by the Chicago Bulls. And now back in the day, they used to have multiple rounds of drafting. The first guy that the Bulls took that year was a fellow named Michael Jordan.
Who's he?
Apparently went okay.
You all right? What happened to him?
Pick number 7 was William Butch Hayes from Cal Berkeley. Pick number 10 was Carl Lewis, who that year won the gold medal in everything at the LA Olympics. Butch, take us back to your experience at the Bulls when you were drafted and some of that. You got to room with Michael Jordan. Just take us through some of that.
Exciting times. It's a simple process. You sit by your phone on draft day, and you get that call, and they say, yes, it's such and such from Chicago Bulls. You're drafted. We'd like to see you in 2 days, and that's it. And
there's a bit more hype these days, isn't there?
Yeah. I arrived in Chicago, checked into my room, and across the away from me, in the next bed, is Michael Jordan. And
Who at that stage is not the Michael Jordan we know now. He's a kid on the edge of a
Does he
career.
ever call anymore, mate?
I call him a lot. Now,
That's called stalking, Butch.
yeah. But yeah, just this great guy. Everyone always asks me, what was Michael Jordan like? He's the same. Great guy that loved basketball. We were always the first in the gym and the last to leave. Always competing. Never liked to lose any scrimmages at training. And just a great guy. He opened up my world. As you know, from there, I was with the Bulls until they released me. But from there, that was my starting point. Was able to play overseas and eventually to Australia, who I thought, they don't play basketball in Australia. It's just kangaroos and koalas. But no, that was the start for me. And I really thank being involved with him in the Chicago Bulls organization. It was a great experience.
And while you guys were teammates here, you played against each other earlier in your careers. I think you were at Adelaide, and Dave was with this Melbourne Tigers team on the rise. What was it like running into one of his back screens?
Well, yeah, Dave, you're always looking for Dave.
I could never get him though. He was always real
quick and
smooth. He'd
step
get
in.
there and be like, no, go right around.
But the easiest part of my career is when we played together. I never got so many open shots because Dave was always getting the opposition for me. So he looked after me very well.
Fantastic. Well, gentlemen, we really thank you very much for your time tonight. We're very honoured to have you both here. You're an old friend of ours, Butch, and we love having you, Dave, in town. And we hope you really enjoy tomorrow night, and we hope Ben does as well.
Thank you.
Round of applause for these two legends, Butch Hayes and Dave Simmons.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks very much for coming to the All Sports Show. Get your tickets. If you haven't got them, go and get them. Get online now. It's going to be a fantastic event tomorrow night at Newcastle Basketball Stadium. And we'll see you back here soon at the All Sports Show.